Hello, Serena here from Make Plant Create. This is our introductory video about the camper caravan that we bought last December in 2018 that we are converting into a pop-up plant shop this year in 2019. This little gem is a 1977 Serro Scotty Sportsman camper caravan. We worked on it just enough earlier this year to take it on its maiden voyage, a camping trip that we take every year to Garner State Park, but it was definitely not what I would consider, or anyone would consider, finished. We pulled it together just enough to make it comfortable for sleeping quarters, and that's pretty much it. But as I said before, this camper really isn't meant to serve us as a camper. It's really meant to be a plant shop.
Huh? Other day.
First things first, demolition. We removed all the existing framework that we knew we weren't going to want or need for our purposes. And something that I'd really like to emphasize too is that this is not a renovation project. We are not building this thing from the ground up like a lot of people out there with videos have just completely torn off the skin and replaced the subflooring and the walls and the frame and everything. That's definitely not what we're doing here.
I want to wash this, like, on the outside.
Good job, Eli.
I'm almost there, Mama.
Yeah, you're doing a good job getting it all scraped up. Careful with that screwdriver.
I'm doing it. Getting this all scraped up.
Yeah.
I'm almost there. Oops.
One of the biggest undertakings with the whole preparation phase of this project was scraping away all the old caulk or whatever it is, putty that was on there holding it together from before. And in addition to scraping all the gunk off of the outside, I'm coming through, pulling out all of these little staples that run along all the edges. All these little staples have to come out. Here we're working on the rafters, I guess rafters is what you would call them, to support the ceiling and also to just really make the entire frame a lot more structurally sound. Like that. And this is just so precious to me. My grandpa, he comes over and he will just sit and watch me and Billy work. And it's just like a spectator thing for him. It brings me joy, and I think it brings him joy too. Again, I just want to emphasize that this is not a restoration project. We're basically just kind of Frankensteining this thing back together. We basically just kind of trimmed back the water damaged edges, about 3 or 4 inches of the edges that were damaged by water, and then we're just going back in and replacing those pieces that we cut out with pieces of wood that are not water damaged. So if any of you that are watching this are thinking, oh my God, what are they doing? Yeah, we are not doing a full restoration on this. It would have been nice to be able to pull back the skins completely and replace all of the plywood and all of that, but that is not what we were diving into with this project. Here you can see how water damaged that piece of wood that Billy just cut out is. So we just took it, placed it on top of the new piece of plywood, used it as a template, and slapped that sucker right in where the old piece was. And then we cut down some little strips of wood to fill in the little gaps underneath the ceiling skin. And man, this thing was so filthy dirty on the outside. It was driving me crazy not being able to wash it. Like Olive said earlier in the video, we just wanted to wash this thing, but until it's all sealed up, we were not able to take water to it and give it a good washing. So in the meantime, I was just washing it with a towel along the edges as I was scraping them and just kind of getting it a little bit cleaned so that when we did add the trim and seal it up, it would at least be clean around those edges, but you can just see how dirty this thing is. By now we've added some more of the framework on here, so it's actually starting to take shape and starting to look pretty good as far as the frame goes. We removed all of the windows, and inside we still had, at this point, still needed to replace some of this rotting wood along this corner on this side. Yep, we are cutting the gas line. Please don't hate on us. We're not using this to live in. This is going to be a pop-up plant shop. So we really just are trying to get this to be pretty bare bones. So again, like I said earlier, this is not a restoration project. So yeah, just bear with us here. At this point, it's getting down to the wire because we do want to take this thing camping. We've got the camper skin in place and tacked down and ready to put some seal tape on it, sealant tape, and get it as watertight as possible before putting that trim back on it. We have almost all of the windows put back in at this point, and Billy is just kind of reworking the door frame to get it where it'll close and not get stuck. So that about wraps it up for phase 1, getting the exterior all ready for cleaning and camping. So stay tuned to see what comes next.